What's up, guys? Welcome back to another beautiful interview, and I hope you guys enjoyed interview 100 and 101. But we're back with another interview. Interview 102 is just something that I never thought I would be saying, and this one's gonna hit different because I got my good friend that I've known since high school, the Wando good old days. LeMarais. And listen, we've been struggling with the name because you guys know me, I suck with names, but dude, this name is different. Yeah. Like, I felt like this name stuck out, you know what I mean? And it matches your character,
well,
bro.
Thank you, man. It's French for the marsh, so.
Yeah, how you been, bro?
I've been really good, man. Dude, you've come so fucking far since we used to chill back in, like, when I was a sophomore, you was a freshman, or maybe I was a junior, I don't know, but we were fucking children.
Yo, we were crazy too,
like,
man.
Oh
so, like,
God.
I mean, would you say that you're glad to be where you are now in life? You know, I don't mean to dig that deep into it.
No. I mean, it's definitely, I remember how our teachers used to always ask us, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Yeah. It's like, you would always, like, be different each time. But honestly, like, I feel like we all wrote crazier things, but I think we should have written something more modest and been okay with it because, it's not crazy. It's definitely not dull, but I'm fine with where I am.
Yeah, right.
I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm, paying rent, and I'm eating food, so that...
And making good music.
And that's... well, thank you, sir. Yeah. I appreciate it. I like it, too. And that's more than most people can say. So,
right. But let's dig into it, man. Let's dig into it, man, because like I said, this man has been close to me for a while. We've been keeping tabs. We went to a reggae concert one time.
We've been to, like, several, I think.
Yeah, I think it was like... I think it was like two. I think it was one in...
Really? Was it Slightly Stupid Revolution or one of them?
I think, yeah, Slightly Stupid. Yep, it was. That was a music farm. Or not music, Riverfront Park.
That's right.
That's what it was.
That's where the good ones are.
But still, I'm just trying to show you guys, like, your dreams can really come true, but also the people that you grew up with will come, and that's how I feel. Like, I feel like a lot of the people that I've grown up with are starting to really see what I'm doing now. So it's like, your talent, you have a hidden talent. You know what I mean? Everybody has a hidden talent. It's up to you to be able to find it and shape it out to be what you want to be.
Right.
I don't mean to rant, but it's just like, for real, this interview,
I feel like you can choose your hidden talent too, though.
Yeah, you can.
If you feel like there's something you want to do, you can do it.
Yeah, you really can. You'd be really surprised. But let's dig into it, man. Let's talk about my dog right here, man. So where are you born? Where were you from?
So I was actually born in a town in North Carolina called Greenville, ironically, but it's completely different. I know Greenville, South Carolina is close to the border.
I've heard of that before.
Yeah, it's where East Carolina University is.
Yeah.
The Pirates. So yeah, I was born there. As but I don't know if a lot of them know, I was adopted. Yeah. I was adopted legally before I was even out of the womb. So I was born, and then that day, my biological parents handed me off to the doctors. They took me to my adoptive parents, who I still just call my parents, their mom and dad, and they were down here. So you may have heard me say that I'm born and raised here, but it's actually kind of a fib.
Yeah, right.
But, I spent
you've lived here for a long time.
All but 8 hours of my life I have lived here. So come on, like, I'm a Benya. Like,
yeah, right.
Just give me the title,
but like, I feel like if you've lived in Charleston or just around this area for at least longer than 10 years, you can classify yourself as a Charlestonian. So
Charlestonian.
Charlestonian. Is it not Charlestonian? I've heard Charlestonian.
Charlestonian?
Yeah.
And
I don't even know.
We could start a Charleston lineage of people who want to call themselves Charlestonians.
Charlestonian? I never heard of that before.
That's what. Yeah, no. Anything that ends in a ton is Tonian. Yeah, Kingstonian, Charlestonian.
Man, I need to go back to school. No, but let's get into it though. So where'd you go to elementary school at? Was it in Greenville?
No. Like I said, I was an infant at the time, so I started school here in Charleston. And I went to Sullivan's Island Elementary School. But the old one, not the new one. I haven't even been inside the new one yet, but it looks dope. But I went to Sullivan's Island Elementary School. I think, how old are you? Like 10 years old? When you leave.
It's like 8, 9, 10.
Okay, but 5th grade when you leave to middle school, you're 11. Okay, that's right. Yeah, so I went there up till I was 11 years old, and although I lived in Mount Pleasant, I did not live on the island, all but for my kindergarten year. So I lived in Mount Pleasant, but I was schooling on the islands. Let me tell you, that was a dope school, being able to go to the beach for class.
So that's where we'll kind of dig into it. Do you think that, like, you living where you were at the time changed, like, your whole school aspect? Because you're going on camp or trips to the beach as like a daily thing.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of it just being like a, once a year trip.
Right, exactly.
So how did that shape your learning?
Well, there was it's funny you say that. We had a creed that ended it with, "As I live and learn by the sea." And it's funny you say that because, like, you can't have a bad day when you're at the beach, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're at school and you're struggling, it's like you're having a bad day, but you know, like right outside, like you know, you have recess, like right by where the ocean is. You know, sometimes.
Do you remember it vividly?
Of course, yeah. I have a very, very good memory. But yeah, to be able to go to the beach and be at school at the same time, like it was impossible to have like you know a totally fucked up day. Yeah. Like you know, oh, can I curse in your show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just, you know,
you need to make sure.
No,
sorry, I don't know if we're children friendly, family friendly, or what, but
good.
Just need to make
yourself,
sure.
Man.
But yeah, you can't have a fucking bad day at the beach, you know. So
did y'all like collect shells and stuff like that?
No,
like,
we would
what
actually
was like a daily day. And I don't mean to talk like too much on elementary, but you know what I mean. People would want to know. You'd be surprised.
A lot of y'all went to elementary school with me, you know. Yeah. So actually, yeah, a good bit of y'all. But it was when we didn't collect, I mean, we collected shells just because we like to collect shells, but, you know, we would actually do what most schools do normally. We would have history class and, you know, English class and stuff, but we would just be at the beach doing it. So it was like 10 times more lit, you know, because you're like right there by the ocean on a rock, you know, with you're a rock, you know, with the sea urchins around you. That's your desk. You know,
facts. Because in Ohio it was the same way, but in the middle of the forest in the woods, and we would like get leaves and then like trace out the leaves and stuff on paper. You know what I'm talking about, with like a color and pencil. You ever done that?
Yeah, for sure.
So I just wanted to, you know, relate. There's some things because I'm from Ohio, so it's different, especially elementary wise. But let's dig into middle school. Do you think that like at that age you started like messing around with being, you know, dancehall, reggae type deal?
I was always into dancehall. Has actually been one of my favorite genres ever since I was little, and I think that comes from, you know, my dad having a boat, my dad being a very good mariner, and he would, you know, he had his honeymoon in Jamaica. You know, he's real into that type of stuff. Like we would always, I grew up listening to people like Yellow Man and Buju Banton and Shaggy, Sean Paul, you know, more our generation stuff. But it's funny you mentioned middle school, because that was the time where I went to a sock hop and did karaoke, and the song was It Wasn't Me. And my homeboy did all the American parts, but I did all the patois parts. How you could grant the woman access to your villa.
Did you feel comcomfortable? Like, did you
I've known
you didn't have anybody look at you weird, and you kind of like felt
Of course I had people look at me weird.
How'd you handle that, though?
That's, I mean, one thing, if you've been listening to my music for a while, or you've just known me, you know that, like, I feed off that shit. Like, you know, I like that attention. I'm never going to see half y'all people again.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I don't care.
You're not paying my bills.
You're right, straight up. Like, I don't care if you. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you do. Like, you know, we can. I'll fuck with you, or you know,
right.
I won't. And
see you later. No, but you're right. That's cool. And I feel like with that mindset, do you think you developed that in the middle school era, or is it something you kind of learned later on and throughout your life?
Well, when it comes to being comfortable on stage and stuff like that, yes, definitely. And that was around, well, because that's when everyone, like, you know, has to learn to be comfortable with themselves, because, you know, 13, 14 years old, that's an awkward ass age.
Especially music-wise, like, you're in choir, so you got to perform in front of a bunch of parents.
Right.
Like, there's a bunch of, like, sequences to make you, like, kind of think about.
Well, at the same time, you know, have I been, like, you know, had I had some shows where I've been booed off stage? Of course, you know, that's how you build. But at the same time, you know, do you really think these people have so little going on in their own lives that they're going to be constantly thinking about that time you messed up? Yeah. Like, no, you're not that important. So it's like, you know, these people, you know, they're going to laugh at you, you know, they're going to boo you off stage, you're going to go home, they're going to go home, and guess what? The next morning, they may talk about it. The next morning, they'll probably have forgotten they were even at the show.
Well, I think, and that's what 99% of the people do, is they actually forget about the show. Because even me, I'll go to Tyler, the Creator, and I'll forget all about it in 2 days.
I've got a problem with that when I film shows off my phone. I feel like I wasn't there.
Yeah, like, I think it's a type of, like, I don't know, it's like
you look so forward to it, and then it happens, and it's great while it's happening, that it's almost like, yeah, and then the next day it's like, you know, you're right back to normal life. So that's why I knew I'd be fine. You know, I was comfortable if I messed up or if I looked goofy, because I know that in 48 hours these people, my show's not going to mean anything to them anymore.
Yeah. So let's dig into high school, though, because it sounds like you've gotten a lot of experience from performing. Did you start performing in high school? Like, what was going on in high school?
Well,
Where'd you go?
I went to Wando High School, first of all, and Moultrie Middle School, by the way. Yeah. Wando High School, You already know.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all already know.
Right. I think all of us know. I love you, bro. Hey, this is crazy, bro. I never thought. I don't mean to like interrupt your thing, bro. But bro, like 5-7 years ago, me and him hanging out, I would never thought in a million years that he would be on the podcast today, bro. Like, I'm not lying. It's an honor.
7 years.
I'm glad you're here, brother. And you know,
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that you're content creating. I'm content creating.
Yeah,
we have
bro,
a way that we can.
music,
we have a
bro.
reason that we can start talking and fucking hanging out again.
Because life's weird, and then you go through obstacles and stuff. But let's get to it. My bad. But so like high school, were you like, what were you doing? What was the normal?
Well, that in 2012, which would be my sophomore. Well, yes, my sophomore year. I was in a punk rock band called High Officer. Some of y'all may remember that. Very few of y'all, if you went to Wando during the years 2011 to 2015, and give or take a few, would probably know that band. It consisted of me, Zach Knight, Julian Boyer, and Steven Hedger. And I was the guitarist and vocal. Steven was the vocal, and Zach was the bassist. Julian was our drummer. And we were a pop punk band, but we didn't have very many originals. So we would get gigs around like Wild Wings and
do a cover band.
Well, we would cover a lot of popular songs, just so we could capture the audience. But but we did have a few originals as well. So but we kind of just went up there and did whatever the fuck we wanted to, and it didn't really couldn't rehearse because we couldn't afford equipment, and we were kind of just that fun. We performed at the Cinnabar once. That was a disaster. I don't know what movie.
They shut down.
Yeah. Well, what movie theater is going to want to hire or thinks it's a good idea to hire a punk rock band to perform at the bar while there's people watching movies?
Hey, I mean, music makes anybody flow. It doesn't matter if it's good.
Yeah, but if I'm watching a movie and I hear a bunch of garage band shit blaring in my ears,
17-year-old kids.
Yeah,
16-year-old kids. How old were you when you were doing that?
About 16, yeah. 15, 16. I just got my license, so I was 15.
So were you? And I don't mean to cut you off. Sorry, I just but do you think that the people you were surrounding yourself with were the most positive influence people, or was it something that was a learning experience?
When I was in High Officer, yes, and I wish I had stuck with them. Some of the people that I hung out with in high school towards the end, after I was no longer in that band, and you know them, and some of them might be even watching. Yeah, we weren't the best people growing up, guys. We did a lot of crazy shit, and but I can't say that because the people that I was hanging out, they always say, "Oh, he's just with the wrong crowd. He's with the wrong crowd." Well, if I'm with them, I am the wrong crowd. But I think I was young. I had an identity crisis.
Did you learn?
Yeah, no, definitely.
I mean, we're still learning the process. We're still young,
We're very young.
Yeah,
honestly.
we still got.
I'm guys. I am about to be 27 years old. I still look like I could be at Wando right now.
Baby. No, I don't know. I mean, actually, yeah, you're right. Because them kids do look kind of like grown people at Wando. But that's cool, man.
No, I'm saying I look like I'm 14 still.
No, I know, but if you were to be realistic, we got to go to Wando. You see what I'm talking about.
I haven't been up there in years.
And compare people. Yeah, I haven't either. But it's seeing them on social media and when you see WHS 32 or 28 or you know what I mean. I'm like, golly, bro. Imagine being your graduation class at 28. But more of what I'm saying is just I feel like the modern day kids are kind of more adult now, compared to when we were kids. It was we didn't have phones really, we didn't have none of it. It was a total different thing. So I feel like us being in trouble a lot is from social media. So do you think that too?
Well, I mean, yeah, I would say it's more because we also at the time there wasn't a lot to do in Charleston. We could go to you say, oh, you can go to the beach or you can go do this then when you live by the beach, don't get me wrong, you can't have a bad day at the beach, but it's not. It becomes to a point where you don't love the beach until you're out there with your board shorts on in the water. It's the beach. We do this every day. Now there's escape rooms, and now they have the high ropes courses, and now there's just a lot more, and a lot of the stuff that we do is legal now.
No, that's a fact. And that's right, man. And I think life changed really faster than we can imagine. So What was like, you know, when you were starting to make music, was it, you know, you said in high school you performed with the band and stuff, but what was after the band? Like, were you starting your own solo career, or were you still looking around for other
No,
bands?
I was doing my solo career, more roots reggae at the time, on an acoustic guitar, and started to transition into the more, the harder stuff, like the dance hall, the raga, the Afro beats, when I was actually just getting out of high school, I believe, because I was about 17, 18, and I had just started, you know, locking up my hair, if you remember the dreads, and I was hanging out with, you know, the small but existent Rastafari community here in Charleston.
You graduated too, right?
Yes, I did graduate.
Yeah.
I did graduate class 2015. Okay. And, God, my 10-year anniversary is coming up.
Yeah, that's insane.
10-year reunion.
I don't mean to bring it up like that. No. I just had to ask, you know, some people, you know.
But anyway, back to the music. So, yeah, about 18, hanging out with the Rastas here in Charleston, and starting to not record, but just perform. And then it wasn't until actually after high school that it started becoming, like, you know, an actual career that I could, like, you know, post my music, you know, on Spotify or on iTunes with, because I linked up with Brash and Elijah the Prophet, or Elijah Izzard and Casey Easley, if y'all know them. Shout out Brash, shout out Prophet, you know. They helped me get started with, you know, introducing me to, you know, how, like, the digital stuff, because I was always analog, you know, when I was recording by myself and with the band. We recorded our EP analog, you know, we didn't even have a computer in the studio. Like, everything was, like, the old school way to do it. And so, you know, I get showed how to use, like, things like Ableton, Logic Pro, Pro Tools and all that stuff, and now I can, you know, everything's digital now, so now I can make music, you know, almost anywhere I am. If I have a computer or a cell phone with me, I can record a song and, you know, mix it, master it, and make it sound great. So that's when, because dancehall is definitely more of an electronic based, you know, more of a digital genre, that's when, you know, it started becoming more along that, those lines. Some people like to call it island pop or island hop, because, you know, I guess since I'm American, I can't be a dancehall artist, which I think is stupid. But so that's about when all that started.
Yeah. When did your first song? How old were you when you made your first song?
My first song is Cloudz.
Yeah.
Okay, because Cloudz is my nickname towards the end of high school. I had another nickname, you know, but we're not going to get into that one. Yeah. But towards the tail end of high school, it was Cloudz. Mr. 𝙄𝙣𝙩𝙚𝙬, my history teacher, gave me that one. And my first song is Cloudz. It was actually a song that got deleted, which I can't even find. It was called Dancehall Night, and it fucking sucks.
Like, what kind of, like, vibe was it?
If you're familiar with the artists like Popcaan or Vybz Kartel, if you don't know Popcaan, he's currently signed to OVO. He's one of Drake's artists, but he started out as a Jamaican dancehall artist working with Vybz Kartel. He's featured in a lot of songs you probably hear on the radio. Something like him, or even something like what you might think when DJ Khaled does his, like, island sounding stuff. Mm-hmm. Like that one Justin Bieber song that when I think he was trying to do dreads or something, but it kind of had that, like, island swing style to it. It was one of them, a little bit faster.
Do you feel like you found, like, your type of genre of music?
Oh, for sure.
Because you were performing with the band and stuff like that.
Well, I love any music that inspires rebellion. Yeah. So for me, that would be hip hop, punk rock, and reggae. And by the way, dancehall is a subgenre of reggae. You know, you got rock, but then you got punk rock, hard rock, you know, all that stuff, soft rock, country rock. You got reggae, and then you got roots reggae, dub reggae, dancehall reggae. So. And
which one's your favorite? Because of course.
Out of all of them?
Yeah.
Well, I'm younger. I love Bob Marley, obviously. Who couldn't love Bob Marley and the Wailers? You know, I love a good dose of roots reggae every now and again, you know, calm me down, get me back in, you know, my godly and spiritual mood. But, you know, I mean, I'm like I said, I'm about to be 27 years old in 2023, man. I like to party still, you know, I'm not totally done yet. I like that dance, I like that club shit, you know? Like,
no, that's cool, bro. I've never really met anybody who really made it, other than Afro, Little Jack Afro, or Little Jack 843. I don't know why I said Afro.
Because he's probably an Afrobeats artist?
Yeah, that's why. My mind is all over. This is what happens when you got questions.
Yes,
man.
I do Afrobeats as well, but I consider Afrobeats dancehall just from Africa. Like I said, I don't know why it needs a different name.
So have you had anybody ever, like, kind of say anything about, like, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want, but because you're kind of, like, I guess white or whatever, like, making your type of music? music? Have you ever had that type of question?
I have only been questioned by other white people, actually.
Yeah.
And I've only ever been ridiculed by other white people. If you were at the Marley Cup, you know I performed with Future Fanbo at the after party, at least. And he was talking about like, yo, like, you know, wait till everyone sees this young white boy from America with the dreads, you know, instead of patois, he's speaking Gullah Geechee, and you know, he's doing our thing, but better than most of them can do.
Yeah,
which was that's Fanbo's words, not mine. I never claim that I'm doing anything better than what they do down in Jamaica, but you know. And he's a black Jamaican reggae artist, you know, doing things that's been done the same way for years. And he's actually bigging up me, and meanwhile I'm nervous that I'm going to mess up in front of him because of all the white people that just told me that I shouldn't be doing this and I'm a culture vulture.
Yeah. How did you find yourself getting into Afro? I know you said your dad and stuff was doing it, but
well,
how did you ever get yourself in the studio doing it?
Well, like I said, I'm also, I didn't say this actually, but I'm very into roots and beginnings of all things. I like to, you know, basically what I'm getting at is the earliest versions of what we call hip-hop and rap in America comes directly from the reggae dancehall by like Africa Mambata, DJ Kool Herc, you know, Jamaicans that moved to America, or first generation American-born Jamaicans in the Bronx, you know, they would, because dancehall, by the way, I know it's a poorly named genre, but basically the word dancehall, the best way I can kind of describe it is it's how they would say a nightclub, or so like dancehall reggae it's like club reggae, you know. It's not like ballroom music like a lot of Americans think it might be, because like I said, it's a misnamed genre in terms of the way we speak. But I forgot where I was going with this.
No, you're good, man. We're digging to the next question.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, man, where do you think that you see yourself in a couple of years with your music? Because you just recently dropped not too long ago, right? Haven't you?
Drops like as in like
music, like EP or anything like that?
Well, I had a real no. It was actually
been a minute.
COVID, you know, makes time go by fast, man. That was in 2018. I have not released anything new since 2018. I've been on that hiatus, which I told you I wanted to freaking tell them on your show exactly why, because this man's involved and why I haven't been around the scene for a while.
Right.
He's fine, you know. He's fine. I forgive him. But it's not his fault, y'all.
No. So you think that you just went through a crazy relationship?
Yeah, man, and you know, she had great qualities, and I'm sure the way she talks shit about me, I'm sure she still says that I had great qualities. Probably not, actually. But yeah, never let anyone who claims to love you try to keep you from your grind and from what you love doing. That's all I wanted to say on that. And Marco, I don't live right by this girl's house, and I was like, yo, man, if you don't hear from me in 30 minutes, call the police. I think she might
that
be
was
like...
crazy too, because like at the time me and him were getting a lot closer and stuff, so like whenever you kind of told me that, I was like, dang, bro, I didn't know he really trusted me like that, because you know that's a big request to some people.
Yeah,
you know, because that means, you know, so I'm just glad you're alive. I'm glad you're here and alive and you're making music and stuff still.
I think I may have died, but I'm back. She still has part of my soul.
But what about the hiatus though, other than the female stuff? Like, you're coming back? Like, I honestly didn't think you left, bro. I feel like I've seen something you just posted. Maybe it's just your content, like your normal content you post. Right. You know what I mean? I thought that you would have been dropping something or... Not
yet.
What's going on?
Well, I've been making a lot of new music, and I've been making a lot of reels on Facebook and whatnot with my older music in the background, because I told myself, which is a weird thing, just I promised myself, you know, I'm not going to make any new music until the music that I already have out gets some kind of recognition, because you can't hand someone your like Spotify or your iTunes and like expect them to take you seriously when they see you have 2 monthly listeners. Yeah. You know, or your song only has like, you know, 100 plays. It's like... So
you think you're hitting this off from like a different standpoint.
Promotional standpoint.
Just hitting heads on. That's cool.
But I do have a whole heap of songs recorded, which y'all will be hearing in the new year. Yeah. You're gonna have to wait till the end of the month. But I'm gonna have a few singles drop in very early January. You know, if not...
Where can we find them?
Well, you already know, Spotify, iTunes, because I mentioned them, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Google Play, basically anywhere online where you can find music, you can find it. And you can find all my previously released music too. I have a SoundCloud that I don't post on regularly anymore, but it has a few songs that are out there for free that are not on the other platforms. Yeah. But SoundCloud is now where I basically, if I write a song and record a song that's not mixed very well or at all, if it's something I would just record it real quick for fun, that's going to go on the SoundCloud. Mm. But Yeah.
What about your Instagram?
Instagram is Cloudz Official. You know, no underscores, no spaces or nothing. Cloudz with the Cloud, letter Z, Official. And you will know me by the meta verification.
Okay. I just want to make sure some people, y'all better check him out, man. Because like I said, this man's an upcoming artist. He's you DJ, right? So what's up with the DJ?
Well, so it's funny you say that. The term DJ, I'm not a disc jockey, but in dancehall culture, what we call a DJ is actually a word. It's DEEJAY. I don't know why they started calling it that.
I might have to look that up.
But anyone,
so it's not DJ.
It's basically no. It's actually a word. I think it comes from the American disc jockey, but anyone who is a dancehall DJ is the guy who's spitting the lyrics. Basically the rapper, but it could also be the hype man or the MC.
Wow, I've never heard that, man. I don't think a lot of. I mean, put in the comments if you ever heard anything like this, but I've never heard anything.
Put in the comments if you even heard of dancehall music to begin with.
Yeah,
and if
most people have though.
If you have, like, if you knew it was different from just reggae, like, because a lot of people are like, oh, this is that, like, he's like a reggae, so this is reggae, but it's like dancehall reggae, and they're like, oh, I've never heard of that.
Well, if you compare like the Revolution reggae to, which that's like pop reggae, or that's like rock reggae.
That's what we call white boy reggae.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though I do...
Still good though, I like it.
I like it a lot too. And Eric Rachmani is a really nice dude. We met at Cali Roots Fest in 2017. He probably doesn't remember, but we kicked it. And they're nice people. They're slightly stupid same way. Tribal Seeds for sure. Ian Young from Tribal Seeds, if you're watching this right now, thank you for fucking bigging me up at the music farm way back in the day.
It's real, man. Your dreams can come true too, but you just gotta put the work into it. So like, other than your music that you come, are you doing any visuals with it or anything? Or do you have any names that we can maybe keep an eye out on for?
Oh, okay. Names like other artists I've been working with?
That, your maybe EPs or soundtrack, like just anything. Can you give us a little spill on it?
Got, like I said, several singles gonna be dropping early January.
Visuals, you got any music videos coming with it?
Got one coming out. Just, a little something fun that me and some friends do together.
Yeah.
Nothing major. And yes, got an EP dropping January 29th, which is my birthday. So it'll be my 27th birthday present to myself. Let's hope I do not get initiated into the 27 Club.
Oh man, no man, don't say that, because I feel like that, we can kind of talk about that, but like I want to say, like, the whole how music has changed. Because I was talking to my cousin, and I feel like ever since Mac Miller's passed away, like Lil Peep, all these big artists, I feel like that was the music industry.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean. Those were the people making the music go around. Because now it's like
Peep.
What's
like
up?
I had barely heard of Peep. I had heard a lot of his music, and he was fantastic. Yeah. But I had just heard of him, and then he died.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's crazy how obviously he's always gonna have a legacy, but it's crazy how many people do you know who like still listen to him every single day?
Right. Yeah. I know people that listen to Juice WRLD every day.
True. Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD was a little bit different though. Juice WRLD.
Right.
Juice WRLD brought back that style, like like pop punk bands used to have, like Fall Out Boy and stuff, and kind of brought it over to hip hop.
Rap. Yeah. That's dope, bro. And so, do you think you ever see yourself? You produce, right? Do you make like beats and stuff too?
A little bit. It's not something, and I'm getting better at it. But I'm more of
you said you mix and master.
I do mix and master, but I'm not very. There's so much that can go into a beat, and at the same time, some beats there's so little that has to go into a beat. Some beats can be very simple and freaking fire, and some beats can. Some beats have a lot of bells and whistles, like so many layers that you would never even know that there's a freaking hummingbird, and the bottom layer going and that's part of the beat. Fucking, and I always either undershoot or overshoot when I'm making these beats. So I prefer to just be the lyricist and the singer, the recording artist, if you will.
Yeah, and I was gonna, I keep saying I was going to, but dang, I had the question right on my head. See, it happens to me too. I just go through so many questions that I just like. Well,
also we did totally have a nice long chill session where we read the Bible and stuff and had some tea before the interview.
No, because the questions I really think of are just trying to be ones that you're thinking of. Like I really try to think in your mind, especially because like.
Oh, you don't want to do that, buddy.
No, really?
No. Like while you still can.
And to make it feel normal, like I'm not perfect, man. You know what I mean? I can't just sit here and there's no whiteboard or nothing. or notebook with questions.
Oh no,
it's
no,
all right here.
We don't get. There's no teleprompter behind the camera. Like trust me, like we.
Oh, but this is what I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask, did you for your music, were you going to do any concerts or anything else coming up? That's what I was gonna ask relating. Because you performing, like, do you have any concerts? Or
not currently.
Where would you want to perform?
Not currently scheduled. I would love to perform at Big Gun again in the Windjammer. You know where I was performing before. COVID kind of messed all that up, and I haven't really got back into it because, like I said, I've been more on the promotion side of like trying to get people onto my social media and stuff, but kind of got comfortable doing that. And I should have some concerts coming up at the Dinghy on Isle of Palms. Don't know exactly when, but I promise you they're coming. And you can always, any when they have reggae nights over on James Island during the summer, you always catch me there. I'll probably be spitting somewhere, I'll bring my speaker out there and just
let me know when you go, man. I'll come out there and vlog it up too.
For sure. And that's also the thing, a lot of my concerts probably won't be anywhere like near Charleston, considering the fact that we don't actually have a very big reggae, we have a reggae scene for the fans, but not for the artists,
Yeah, compared to like here, it's like rap, like Geechee rap. And
well, exactly. Rap. If you listen to my songs, I'm actually not speaking patois. I'm actually speaking Geechee. But the thing is, a lot of this Geechee that you hear, that's not real Geechee, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, it's that Geechee dog. Bro, no. You sound like a drunk from Atlanta.
Yeah.
But if you go over on John's Island, where I used to hang out, and we're across the bridge, we're on the people I can teach like this all day, back and forth, and I understand them, and you're like, what are they saying?
Yeah, it's fast. I've heard some crazy stuff too.
That's what I'm actually singing in my music. While me and Jamaicans can perfectly understand each other just fine, it is not the same language. So for you people who say I do a bad Jamaican voice or a Jamaican accent, guess what? It's not Jamaican. So,
what's one advice you would give anybody who's struggling to kind of find their identity?
Oh God, you make that.
Yeah.
That's up to you to decide. You make your own identity, man. Hell, like when I didn't know who my parents even were, I would just tell people crazy stories like, oh yeah, my father's from this country, my mother's from this country, and they met on the sinking cruise ship, and there was a diamond involved, and James Cameron directed it, and things like that. But no, man, you decide your identity. If you can't decide like who you are, guess what? You can be whoever you want. So decide who you are. Just pick whatever your favorite you is. Be that person. There's no need to worry about who you're supposed to be, because that's up for you to decide. You're yourself,
Right.
mend yourself in the way you desire.
Yeah, and don't let nobody take advantage of you. I feel like that's what a lot of people do, is they find someone who's like they're vulnerable to, and they just let it just shrivel to whatever their needs is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mean to hit deep. I be hitting deep on it. That's why I don't need to be talking, but. No, man, I feel like we covered a lot. I try to tell everybody we keep it kind of minimum on the first interview, let people know where you're from, boom, boom, boom.
You gotta be mysterious,
and we covered everything, I feel like, and then I think even just the fact that you're here is just the most blessing, because we're going to talk more after we get off and chill. And, bro, it's crazy, man. I can't believe life. Where do you see yourself? Or no. I was about to repeat a question. That was a question I asked earlier. When you first wake up in the morning, how do you always be yourself?
The first thing I do is I get down on my knees and I thank God for waking me up, and I tell him how happy and grateful that I am for the things that I have and the things that I'm going to have. But I thank him as if I already have them. And what do man, I just I throw in some music. I don't like to watch TV anymore, especially not when I first wake up. Throw in some music, usually some Vibes Cartel or some Tommy Lee or Skang. And Skang's a really good Jamaican dancehall artist coming up right now. Trap Hall is what they're calling it. It's like trap and dancehall mixed together, I think. Yeah. Throw in some music. Have a cup of tea or sometimes a cup of coffee if I feel like getting just a little bit more up than usual. And I'll just sit and I'll not do anything for a solid 45 minutes, If it's early enough, I'll watch the sunrise, and I'll just, remind myself that I love what I do and I'm blessed to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm. To the full ability? Do you feel like you're at the full ability yet, or are you getting there?
Well, there's always going to be room for improvement, but I think that, depending on who you ask. If you ask the American educational system, of course, I have a degree in this stuff. I have to be the full ability. But no, I'm always learning, man. And, like I said, before we were on camera, we were talking about how, it's good to have all of these multiple skills, because if I ever were to reach, God willing, and the river run, to reach a status like Kanye or Hov or any of these artists, you know, you got to have multiple skills. You know, I could go on to, you know, producing, or I could go on to, you know, business,
everything.
marketing, you know, things like that. And so obviously, no, like if I'm full potential, no. Like, I mean, if I have to the full ability, no, not yet, of course not. But I'll never be there, and that's the greatest part about it. That's the journey. Is you know, that makes the journey never ending, and that's the fun part.
And I think some people think that you have to be perfect at the end of the journey. Like, you have to have all this stuff and this and that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with thinking like that, you know. But I don't know. I think it's deeper than that. Do you believe in manifestation?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
7 Hermetic principles.
Yeah. Yeah, and some people, that's next interview is gonna be fire, bro. We're about to go crazy. This man's gonna start preaching and all this stuff, bro. But it's been beautiful, man. I got my boy Cloudz on here, man. My boy Clay. And listen, Cloudz LaMarais.
Perfect.
Yeah, I said all 3 names. Yo, I love this man, bro. Like I said, he said it earlier. He's proud of me. I'm proud of you, bro.
I'm proud of you, man.
For you to be able to come on,
and
here.
I'm proud of your pride too.
Yeah,
like prideful of your proudness.
You give me pride too, because the energy matches, bro. But
yeah, when we pride, we stride up.
We try, yeah. Right. This is it, bro. I appreciate it. I love every single one of you guys. Stay true to yourself, and the only way to achieve your dream is through you. No one else is going to do it. You got to get up every single day, and you got to grind harder than you did yesterday and the day before that. Peace.